Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So in today's video, it's not going to be a drawing tutorial necessarily, but I found a few of my sketchbooks, some of my really old sketchbooks, and I wanted to share some of my really old drawings. I was looking through some of them, I didn't get a chance to look through every single one, so I wanted to share that moment with you. Some of them I was kind of cringing because the art style was god-awful, and in general, I just drew some really weird stuff, so I wanted to share that with you guys. Happy New Year. I hope you guys have an awesome year. Hopefully it's filled with so much happiness and opportunities and many blessings. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. Okay, and I actually looked over and I just found some even more sketchbooks. Unfortunately, I do not think I can show every single piece in this one single video. But depending on how many I am able to show, maybe I can make like a second part. So if you're interested, they do look kind of dirty. Just let me know down in the comments. Also real quick, I completely forgot to mention, but if you do want to support me and give back to me, you can definitely donate to me on Patreon or Ko-fi. As usual, everything is linked in the description, or you can look at the top of the comments. I am almost at 14,000 subscribers, if I'm not mistaken. So thank you so much for that. And again, with that being said, let's start. Okay, so this one is really not that bad. Like, in all honesty, it's really not terrible, but I mean, I can still see some flaws, but you know, it is what it is. This one I used to be extremely proud of, and sorry, my cat's trying to get in the way. But yeah, I used to, and as you guys know, or some of you may know, but I used to draw on my phone, my iPhone 6, and it was cracked, unfortunately. But I used to draw on paper first, you know, get it how I liked, and then I would take a picture of it, bring it into a drawing app, Ibis Paint, and draw it digitally and color it digital. So that's how I used to do it. Thank God I don't have to do that anymore. I know a lot of artists still do that, so once you upgrade to an iPad, or just in general, a bigger screen, a better screen, better equipment in general, you don't have to use your finger anymore. Currently, I'm working on a, sorry, cat hair, commission, and I have a Apple Pencil finally, and a much better iPad. So again, once you upgrade, I don't feel like it's easy to go back. So very happy and whatnot to see the progress. This one is a really bad drawing of my fiance. I think this was like 2 years ago, so it's not that old, but already it's just really ugly. I try to color it with oil pastels, if I'm not mistaken. So there's that. Here is a terrible, terrible sketch at some people kissing. It kind of looks like Shoto because of the hair. I don't know though. I don't even remember what this was or why I drew it. And here's a terrible, terrible sketch as well of a side profile. I used to think these things looked so good. Very fascinated with like how I drew the jaw and the nose. Looking back on it now, it's just an awful mess. Here's this one as well. I know not everyone is a Christian, but I thought I would show this as well. It's not that terrible. Again, some of these aren't the worst. It's just, I've still improved even from this point. So I mean, some of them aren't like the worst, but they're definitely not the best either. Like, what is his hand? What is that? Here's another one that I drew on, you know, paper. And then I turned it into a digital artwork. If I have the time, or if I remember, I might try to insert like the digital version of the ones that I did turn digital, so you can kind of see what I did. So this is an interesting one that I kind of want to remake because of my art, you know, has improved. But these are some of my OCs. Her name is Samantha. This is Miyoko, and that is, his name used to be Nyasha until I figured out it was actually a female name. Not that that's not possible, but once I realized it was not a male name, I thought that was kind of weird, but his name was inspired by Inuyasha. His current name is Jasper, so there's that. They're basically comparing chest size, let's just put it that way. And here is Sabrina and Akimi, or Akemi. I don't even know how to say my own character's name. There's the guys in the background. They are my smaller chested girls. This is currently an OC that I'm making a webtoon of. If you want to stay up to date with that, I would suggest becoming a patron of mine on Patreon because you will get early access. And here's the last one of an OC that I never fully made official, but apparently she has like an insanely large chestes. Here is a, I don't even know how to say her name, but she's from a webtoon, True Beauty Jugyeon. I don't want to like butcher that, I already did though. I used to think this was also really good. It's not the worst, but you know. And here is the guy version. I believe his name is pronounced Elios or Elios, I'm not sure. This is Andrew, and gosh, the anatomy is so awful. Here is my other guys, Tomoyuki, or again, Japanese names not the best at pronouncing, unfortunately. And this is Jasper, or Miyasha, as his name used to be. This is Ariana Grande in Blackpink. This is another photo that I ended up turning, or trying to turn, digital. This is really bad. Like, I'm gonna be honest, this is so bad, especially this. What is that? Here's an Inuyasha one. I also used to think this was good, as you were catching on. I used to think they were all good. But looking back, his hand, first of all, is too big. His shoulders are also not making sense to me. And just overall his face, yeah, definitely needed to be fixed. Here is Ari from the game League of Legends. This one is also one I was really proud of, and I did turn digital. I mean, you can see the progress and how much I have changed since then, hopefully. Here's another one. Here's some failed sketches. Some more fails. Sometimes you'll just see those occasionally. Don't even know what this is, but look how terrible it looks. Now this one I'm still fairly proud of, as in like, I don't think it looks that bad for an old drawing. I mean, I do like her face. I'm sure it's not completely accurate, but her hands aren't the worst. This is Evelyn from League of Legends as well. My cat is still trying to bug me, please stop. Here's a random character that I tried making, but I never proceeded with her. I never did anything with her. Her name was Izzy. More random sketches. At this point though, I will have to pick up the pace, otherwise we'll be here all day. This one is not that bad. Honestly, it's not the worst for an old sketch, but that is Kagome. Here's that, kind of weird looking, like a really squished face. And here is some comics that I was gonna make as well. It was gonna be called Sesshomaru's True Beauty, obviously inspired by the webtoon True Beauty. Here's yet another one that I thought was really good. And some of these I will probably time-lapse so that you can see me looking through them, but I probably won't say a lot of things for certain drawings. Here's yet another one that's not the worst. Unfortunately, there is a little bit of that, so sorry if you have to see that. This is Sesshomaru again. And here you have a monster. Look at that hand. This is my OC again. If any of you are very good at pronouncing Japanese names, help me please pronounce my own character's name. I think it's Akimi. I'm just gonna start saying that. Hopefully I'm not saying it wrong. More hands. I also did the Sailor Moon redraw challenge at one point. I think this is like 2 or 3 years old, so I would love to try to do another one where I could do my current style, but knowing myself, I probably won't. Some of these were a commission, if you will. It was like a patron reward. She is no longer with me, unfortunately, but I used to do it on paper first, and then again, I returned it digital. Some Sesshomaru and his dad. Unfinished Harley Quinn. Some Jinx. Looking back again, like some of these are really cringe and really bad. This one I tried coloring. I used to like how the drawing looked, and then I thought when I colored it, it ruined it, but honestly the whole thing is just bleh. This is just atrocious. I believe this was from Blue Satan. She is on Instagram, and I tried drawing this, and wow, that is just terrible. That is so bad. Like, the whole thing is off. Everything is off, from the nose, the mouth. The eyes are just demonic looking. More random sketches. She looks pretty much cross-eyed. Yikes. I don't know what it was, but I did not know how to draw shoulders back then. Do you see the size of that? That could fit an airplane. An airplane could land on these shoulders. What is this? Did I have like a shoulder fetish? And here was that Sesshomaru's True Beauty that I was talking about. Some of the pages, but I'm not going to show the whole thing. I will say though, I did draw Jockin pretty accurately. This one I want to remake, possibly because it has potential. I know I had an artist as an inspiration. I looked off of someone's photo on Instagram. I really wish I could credit them properly because I do not remember their name, but originally it was Harley Quinn, this version, and then Harley Quinn, I think like the newer version, but I'm not sure. But I turned it into Jinx instead, so this one's not that bad, but still bad. Okay, so we finally finished the first one. This one I'm pretty sure is many years old. So again, oh, it even has the date. Looks like it's 12/23/17. So yeah, this is pretty old. Unfinished. This used to be a character of mine that I shipped with Sesshomaru. How cringe. Thankfully you can't see like anything visible here, so I hope it's okay to show on YouTube, but this was a fan art of one of my online friends that I've known for a while. This is her OC with Sesshomaru. I believe her name is pronounced Ririchio. I did start to draw Onage Prank's characters, never finished it. Again, this is not too bad, so thankfully some of my drawings aren't the worst, even though they're old. This is just atrocious. Yikes. Not even sure what this is, but this is really bad. I believe this is actually in one of my YouTube videos, how to draw a unicorn. Looking back, the body is extremely small, or too close to the neck, in my opinion. This is a little bit off. The neck needs to be a little bit longer, and it looks squished, if that makes sense. Not really sure what that is, but some tic-tac-toe probably with my husband. Some Brian Quinn from Impractical Jokers. More failed attempts. Gosh, that is so ugly. Oh my gosh. This one is not the worst. I remember making it my profile picture for a while. And here is me trying to give my fiance some art lessons. I'm sure you can tell which is mine and which is his. As you can see, towards the end here, we're getting into my Harley Quinn phase. Yikes, I don't know what that is, but sorry you have to see that. You can tell it's old. Okay, here is another sketchbook. I'm probably not gonna have time to show the whole thing. I really don't want to make this video really long. So here is some, I believe it's Jungkook from BTS. It's not that bad, honestly. It's just, he looks a little off here, but I feel like this had potential, but I just stopped working on it and then that happened. This is not that terrible either. This was like an Inuyasha and Kagome drawing. It was like a goth version. I also had like a reference or some inspiration, It was like a manga called, not Vampire Knight, I always get those two confused, but it was referenced from a manga. Some cutesy kawaii Jungkook and Jimin from BTS. I used to think this was so pretty. Ariana Grande. I honestly can't tell if I like this or not because I know I don't like it, but I don't know. This one, again, is also not that terrible, but his face is just a little bit off. Everything else is not too terrible. More Jungkook. As you can see, my phases with everything. I mean, I still love BTS, but it's definitely not as visible or obvious. I don't know, but like my Harley Quinn phase, my BTS phase. I believe this was a commission that I turned digital as well. I don't know what that is. It's pretty creepy. I'm not gonna lie to you. That is horrifying. This is also ripped. This is actually a YouTube tutorial. I believe his name is Kin or something like that. Some 02. And honestly, this is pretty bad. The face bothers me, and so does everything else, but this can definitely be remade if you guys want to see that. And no, I did not make up the pose. This was referenced, but again, I don't know who the artist is off the top of my head. But yeah, I can definitely remake this if anyone is still watching at this point and wants me to do that. Oh, here's actually the actual version that went up on YouTube, and once again, I don't know what these stains are. Looks extremely gross though. Okay, well that is gonna be all for this video. If you want to see a part 2 of the other sketchbooks, there is quite a few. We can do that in a different video, but for now I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. Thank you very much for watching, and happy 2022, guys. So I'll see you in the next video.